here for a little over 2 months, and it's sure is exciting to see everyone in person, especially those who are always online and kind of two-dimensional. It's good to see you in three dimension. So thank you all for coming. Yesterday was the International Women's Day. It should be the International Women Year, decade, century, but anyway, so there was a celebration of women yesterday internationally. And we had a tourist study on Thursday, and one of the students, she's not one of the congregation, she's not to me anyway, but she mentioned that she loved this portion because women are mentioned a lot in the parsha. So as I read it, I noticed women were very involved in donating to the tabernacle and in doing the work, the fine work of building the tabernacle. Then I decided to focus my short introduction on a particular verse, page 562. It's toward the end of the portion, actually. Page 562, the top of the page, verse 8. Okay, and it talks about building of the tabernacle with copper. So the verse 8, Vayaz et hakiyo nechoshet v'et kano nechoshet v'marot hatzobot asher tzav'u petach ohel moed. Now I'm going to do the translation slightly different than the one given here, but almost the same. He, Betzalel, made the lavea. It's a sink, a washing basin of bronze. I know the translation here it says copper. We think it's bronze. What material did he use? He used the bronze mirrors that the women donated. According to Midrash, the women, the slaves in Egypt, had mirrors made of bronze. Now that's true that we know it from archaeology that in ancient time, the people used to take bronze or other metal and shine it a little bit, and that was their mirror. So and they held it, right? It was like a round mirror with a handle. Women used those mirrors to beautify themselves. And according to Midrash, these women were instrumental to the salvation of Bnei Israel from Egypt, from Mitzrayim. The men were slaves, and they had to sleep in the field. They had to work and sleep at night next to the pyramid that they were building for Pharaoh. Pharaoh wanted to destroy all the male children. All the male children will be thrown into the river, and the female will be kept alive. And in addition to that decree, he wanted to separate men and women. So the women stayed in the camp and the Goshen where they lived, and the men were sleeping in the field next to the building site. The women decided they couldn't continue like this, so there won't be any continuation to the Jewish people. They took the mirrors, they beautified themselves. That's a midrash, it's not in the Torah, but it's a midrash that explains what was the role of the women and how they used the mirrors, beautify themselves. They went to the field, they made love to their husband, they got pregnant. It's okay to speak about this in synagogue, right? No problem. It's all part of life. And the family ties were tied again. Now, this was a big mitzvah that they did. And after that, they were saved and salvation occurred. Now they're in the desert. And women are donating all the silver, all the gold, right? Everything they're wearing. I purposefully put like extra gold today to kind of symbolize all the generosity of the women. They took their jewelry and gave it away. Okay. And then they wanted to give the mirror for the wash basin where the priests are washing. And Moses said no, because these mirrors symbolize sexual desire and relations, earthly relations. And that's not appropriate. But God said, no, use those mirrors because those mirrors will symbolize the connection that we have. As the priest comes in, he's to the temple. First he comes in, he's dirty, right? He washes himself. He washes his hand, washes his feet. So he's now going from tameh to tahor. From tameh is unclean and tahor is clean. From unholy to holy. And he's doing it in a wash basin made of the bronze that symbolized the love of the Jewish women to the Jewish men, and the fact that they, even in the hardship that they had, they wanted to perpetuate the Jewish people and made love to each other. And on this, Rabbi Akiva said that the whole Torah is holy, and Shir HaShirim, the Song of Song, which is really a love song between men and women, that's holy of holy. And that's kind of all connected, that the mirrors, the beautification of the women, the making of the next generation of Jews. You don't give up. These days, we see a lot of weddings among Israeli soldiers. I watch Israeli news. There's tremendous amount of love and affection, and couples that were hesitating and they decided, no, we're going to get married. There's something about the war, the feeling of love and death, and they may not come back from the war, and they want to make children. They want to get pregnant. They want to perpetuate the Jewish people. And that's all connected also to our own time. So with the generosity of the women, the generosity of the Jewish people, as they built the tabernacle in the desert, may we see again building of the temple in Jerusalem in our own time. May we see victory, and may all the and may all the captives will return.
Amen. 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 Okay. Amen. V'yazor v'yigemi shilach holocaustim bo v'nomar amen. Hakol avu b'delehin t'chavol Torah pat kohen krivita amot. Torah bat. V'Yakov HaKohen v'shkendol Baruch shenatan Torah l'imo Yisrael b'kedushato.
ואתם הדבקים אדוני אלוהיכם, חיים כולכם היום.
ואתם הדבקים אדוני אלוהיכם, חיים כולכם היום.
On page 552, verse 1. Yes.
Baruch hu et Adonai havarach.
Baruch Adonai Borach Le'olam Va'ed.
Adonai
Baruch
Baruch
Adonai.
Adonai havarach. Baruch Adonai
Baruch
Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher b'charainu mikol hamim. V'natan lanu et Torah. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Vayakel Moshe kol hadaf v'nei Yisrael vayomer alehem ele hadvarim asher tziva Adonai la'asot otam sheshet yamim v'yaseh melacha vayom hashvi'i yeh lachem kodesh shabbat shabbaton l'Adonai kol ha'oseh bo melacha yumat lo tivaru esh b'chol moshvotechem v'yom ha'shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yamod Yisrael Chaim ben Bero, Rishut HaKohen et Chaim Levi.
Charlie, come
All the way around, yeah.
We're on page 553, verse 4.
Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
Amen.
Amen. Vayomer Moshe el kol hadaf in Israel lemor. Zeh hadavar asher tziva Adonai lemor. Kechu meitchem trumat Adonai kol nediv liba yeviyah et trumat Adonai zahava chesed unechoshet utechelef yargamam v'tolat shani v'sheish v'izim v'orot elim v'adamim v'orot chashim v'atzei shitim v'shemen lamaor v'samim l'shemen amishcha v'liktoret hasamim v'avnei shoham v'avnei miluim lo'ifov lachoshen v'chol chacham lebachem